Today, I want to address the common misconceptions as to why certain people are prone to suffering from spiritual attachments, dark entities, spiritual attacks or afflictions, and paranormal activity. There are a few dangerous false impressions spread around by religious people and those that work within the church. Having grown up with Catholic and Christian influences from within my own family, this is something that I have been aware of from a very young age. My grandmother could see spirits and entities. She was also a devout Catholic, but because of her faith, she wasn't given the correct insight, tools, or explanations to deal with her gift. Instead, she was attacked by these entities and haunted by fear and guilt for her ability to see them. Welcome to Lumen Divinum. I am Luna Sinclair, spiritual advisor, lightworker, and paranormal consultant. This is a new podcast, so please show some love and support by liking and subscribing. If you have any feedback or experiences relating to today's topic, I would love to hear from you in the comments below. If you'd like to work with me, visit my website to take a look at my services or contact me directly. There are many misconceptions related to spiritual warfare and attacks, and why one person would be a target and another might not ever experience it in their lifetime. Let's bust these myths today so you can gain a better understanding of why this actually happens. It's important to understand that when one experiences spiritual warfare and attacks of any nature, it is not a reflection of the type of person that you are, nor is it a representation of your faith necessarily. Of course, there are people who play with things or practices that they shouldn't, ultimately opening themselves up to dark or demonic energies and entities. But if you do follow a faithful path and you're actively connecting with a higher power and living a true and good life, you are sometimes even more at risk for these sorts of attacks and encounters. Contrary to what we have been led to believe, your religion, and any religion for that matter, will not make you exempt from attacks by the devil and other dark forces. When we are dedicated to our spiritual path and we are working to be our best selves, this is when we are considered the most threatening to the enemy. Now, the enemy can come in many forms, as we are well aware. It can even appear as Jesus Christ himself in order to trick you, tempt you, or twist and poke holes in your faith. This is why the only thing that matters, whether you are religious or not, is your discernment, your intuition, your higher self, your gut, whatever you label it as. This is one's inner compass, higher voice, and your connection to your soul and to the divine. This is why spiritual people who have done the inner work and cleared out all distractions, wounds, and negative influences are often more psychic or aware, as they are truly able to hear and discern that inner voice, that stillness, or the great I am consciousness within them. When it comes to hearing and discerning God or source, it can seem quite daunting and even frustrating in the beginning. That's because we have yet to truly know ourselves, and therefore we cannot possibly know our soul or God, as they are the same frequency. There are many influences that we are taught to live with in this world that dull and eventually silence our inner voice and even our abilities to hear and connect with a higher power. This is why many are now turning to religion and seeking more out of their faith. As a collective, we are living in dark times, and this is why it is so imperative to do your research, arm yourself with knowledge, and to truly go within, to strip away all the falsehoods that we have been taught. As Buddha said, question everything except that which aligns with your own soul. The voice of God is often not an audible one. I find it almost to be more of a feeling within me, a knowing of my spirit. Of course, for you, it could be very different. But it took me a long time to actually recognize the soft knowing as the powerful voice that it truly is. Yet when I did, it made sense, and it brings me back to a quote I'll not forget, which states, "The voice of God is silent. It is the devil who whispers." Right now, there are many light workers that are emerging and waking up or choosing to be seen all over the world. Thus, we are collectively causing an energetic and power shift to take place on the planet. This naturally disrupts and agitates the balance that has been existing for millennia. And that is why dark forces seem to be popping up everywhere. Wars have erupted, the corrupt are being seen, and things seem upside down right now more than ever before. Once one makes a conscious choice to step on their divine path and truly embrace a higher power, this is when we shine our brightest. Hence, this is when the moths and the worms come out of the woodwork, as this light is literally affecting these demons, and they are alerted to you and your power. They will then do anything within their power to stop you. This goes with the theory of duality. Think of your faith like a magnet. If you had two magnets on a table, but one was dormant, and then all of a sudden it became active, it would pull the other magnet towards it immediately. When one polarity gets stronger, it will disrupt and attract the opposite polarity to maintain and restore balance. On the other hand, the closer one gets to God, the more they are noticed by the enemy, because in the grand idea of oneness, there is no light and dark. The movie Stigmata is a perfect example of this. There are a few known saints and priests throughout history that have infamous testimony of being attacked by the devil simply because of the lives they lived, the faith they carried, and the path they were on. Even Jesus himself battled with being tempted by the devil. So, no matter your religion, it is all about the faith that you carry in your heart and the spiritual nourishment you are choosing to fill yourself with. It's about calling on your protection daily and discerning when in prayer or when living life, who or what is aligned with your path. Who or what is simply a distraction or a tactic to provoke fear and doubt within you. Ask yourself, are these situations, people, or choices taking me backwards, or are they allowing me to grow and move forward? Once we come to this place of control and awareness within ourselves, the enemy will no longer have power over us or over any area of our lives, because you are preempting their attacks and you'll be aware of their tricks and plots before they even manifest. When it comes to theatrics, the devil can really outdo himself. When people think of the devil, they think of him as being easily recognized because he must be grotesque, he must have horns or goat's feet, and yet in reality, he will appear to you as every beautiful thing that you have ever wished for. Hell, he will shine and sing and maybe even say a prayer with you. This is how we are manipulated and controlled by dark forces, either through other people or within our own minds. By believing lies and fabrications, we create strongholds and ungodly soul ties, either with people, addictions, negative thoughts, and behaviors. These can lead one to spiral down, or it could serve as a wake-up call to step out of the karmic loop and liberate your spirit. For more about demonic strongholds and ungodly soul ties, what they are, and how to recognize and destroy them, take a look at my blog article. You'll find the link in the description box. When dealing with dark forces, rest assured they will always give themselves away in the end. It's just up to us to be able to use our discernment and recognize the subtle ways in which they get tripped up within their own lies and deceptions. If people could recognize the signs earlier, the world would be a different place. To end our episode today, I'd like to give you the Armor of God prayer. This is a really powerful prayer to say daily to enforce your spiritual and physical protection and to shield you from spiritual warfare and attacks. You'll find it as a PDF in the description box. Thank you so much for listening. I hope you enjoyed today's episode. Please remember to show this channel some support and share with anyone who could benefit from this information. Until next time.